For me, the Ohio Standard that I taught and had a lot of fun with was the counting from starting from any number up to 100. This standard is one that is very important because all our life we're going to be using numbers and we're using them for counting. If you work in places that use money, you're using numbers. If you're a teacher, you're going to be teaching with numbers. If you're an accountant, you're going to be using numbers. Every job uses numbers. So the standard from starting from any number and counting to 100, it's the basis for the start of a lot of different lessons when we're in school. Knowing knowing all these possibilities with the use of these numbers makes it so that we understand that the curriculum alone is just the basis of where this standard can go. The way I got informed about the students and how many numbers they know is by doing their report cards, which we had done right before this lesson started. And we got to see kind of how far the students could count, so we kind of knew where their number knowledge was. So that helped a lot because then I could look back at the report cards and the assessments that we did for the report cards and kind of see where each student was in their number knowledge. So by knowing where the students are with their number knowledge helped me to understand who might need a little extra help when it came to our lesson. So I knew that some students that could only count up to a certain number might need to be the ones with the numbers of 50 or 60 or 70, the ones that they might know a little better because they're those ones with the zeros at the end. So they know 7, they could get to 70 is kind of how my host teacher and I talked it through. Another thing about knowing kind of where their number knowledge is we also knew that the students that had harder time with numbers might do better with the visual aspect of the lesson. So that was another thing that really helped me kind of guide my instruction when it came to teaching the lesson. So with this lesson in the standard that we used, it is, like I said, just the basis of knowing numbers. And when the students in kindergarten move up to first grade, they are going to start using the standard of counting to 120, starting at any number less than 120. In this range, read and write numerals and represent a number of objects within a written numeral, which the lesson that I'm doing is perfect for that because they're representing the numbers with objects. They're also going to have numbers that are written that they get to use. And then by the time they get to first grade, they're going to know most of their numbers to 100. So it's going to be easier to help them keep learning, getting to that 120. And from there, it'll just keep going and up, second, third, fourth, and up. So for the actual lesson, most of it I got from talking with my host teacher and the activity in the book that they wanted it to be taught. In the book, they wanted us to do strips on the smartboard or in person and have like 3 or 4 of the numbers like 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55 and have them in strips, and then the students were going to help put each strip in order counting from 55 to 70. And for me, I was like, that's them sitting on the carpet and we do so many worksheets, and to have them just sit and watch, it just didn't seem like a lot of fun. So when my host teacher and I were talking, I was like, a number line would be cool because she had brought it up, and I was like, what if we did a real life number line? And we were talking, and we brought up how we have the lines, tape lines in our room. And I was like, if we use the back line, we could create a real human um, number line. And I was like, that would be awesome. So we printed out a bunch of numbers so that the students could have and hold the numbers. And then we also created visuals for them to hold up so that they could see it with the base 10 blocks. And when this a student say they had 70 and they had a visual to go with it, one student would hold up the number and the other student would have the visual underneath to help those students that just weren't there at recognizing the actual numeral. Then the base 10 blocks gave the other students a chance to count and understand. Because at that point, we had to learn to count by tens for the base 10, for the tens. And then they could count up their ones, put the tens and ones together to create that number. So it was really awesome to get to do. They had a lot of fun. The students then I would hand one student a number at a time, and we would, as a collective whole class, decide where that person should take their number and stand on the number line. And we did that for every student because they all got a chance, and we created a whole number line. And then I took a picture, and I don't know what happened to it. It was awesome, but I took a picture, and the students got to look at it and see, did we put everything in order? And then when they were like, they put everything in order, they were so proud of themselves. Both of my AM and PM did awesome with it. And then we got to count off and make sure we were all in order. And that actually helped them from counting from 55 to 70, counting numbers within and up to 100. So it was awesome, and they did a really great job with it.